Notice that. That was a lack of accuracy. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of Team GLOCK University here at the GLOCK Inc. headquarters, and we are continuing the analyzation of the USPSA Area 8 Championship. Last episode, we talked about discipline and the fundamentals being a core skill of being a successful shooter. So now we're into day 2, and I have found a few other things that I would like for us to discuss. So stage 8 of day 2, I want you guys to notice something here towards the end of the stage, and then we will talk about it. So good movement there. First position looks strong. Good movement. Transition was good. So far, we're on a good pace. And notice that. That was a lack of accuracy, and it also plays back into what we talked about in the last video on a lack of discipline. So when I came into that last position, right here, notice I'm shooting a target right there to the left. So that's a target kind of hidden behind a wall, and I don't have a full exposure on the target. So when I did my stage walkthrough, I knew that I had to be extremely accurate because I don't have a full exposure on the target. I lacked discipline and I lacked accuracy because I ended up shooting the wall. I called the shot, which that is a plus and a positive of what happened there. But it also forced me to make a long transition to come back to that target at the end of the stage, which cost me 0.7 to possibly a second. But accuracy also plays into the discipline. It's hard to be very accurate if you're not also very disciplined. So another example of this was here towards the end, the very last stage of the match. This was what I felt like was going to be a good stage. It fit a lot of my strengths. Pretty quick in the beginning, short burst movements. Everything up to this point looks good. And then right here. Now in the video, it looks strong, but I know that I shot 2 deltas. Now shooting minor, we talked about this in one of the first videos with shooting carry optics being a minor division. Every Charlie or delta you shoot is more points down than shooting like a major power factor. So a Charlie in minor is 3 points versus 4 points in major, and a delta is only 1 point. So if I shoot a delta, I'm immediately down 4 points, and I shot 2 of them in this stage, which makes me down 8 total points in 2 shots. So that is a complete lack of accuracy. Now that can be a number of things. It can be me not allowing the dot to settle exactly where I want it. It can be my grip pressure not being exactly how I need it to be. It can be a lack of trigger control, but that's what we're gonna explore in this video. We take all of this information and we go to the range and we develop plans, like I said in the last video. We develop training plans that help us continue to get better. It's always the 1% better every day mentality. So let's go to the range and let's practice accuracy. Now in the previous video, we talked about discipline, and I mentioned how discipline also plays into accuracy. So we've covered the one aspect of it. Now we're gonna cover the second aspect of it. So with accuracy, it follows a lot of the discipline and the control that we talked about previously, but now it's understanding the grip, seeing the sights, allowing the sights to settle, and again, feeling that trigger through the entire process. So this drill we're gonna work on here is from 7 yards. I'm gonna draw the pistol on the buzzer and I'm gonna shoot 5 controlled shots. And the goal of what I'm doing is trying to see the sight move repeatedly with each shot. I wanna see the sight track up, see it fall back down, track up and fall back down. And as the gun is going through that process, I also want to make sure my grip is not changing, the dot is tracking consistently, I'm not trying to force the dot to be anywhere it's not supposed to be, and I'm not doing anything that I should not be doing with the trigger. So 5 controlled shots, not trying to be fast, just trying to have a very controlled group right in the center of the target. One more time. I have one shot a little bit low and left. I pulled that one. I felt it, I pulled it, but that is kind of the point of this drill. The rest of my shots are in a relatively tight group for what we're doing, but I've got the one low shot because I felt myself pull it. I pushed the trigger down under the recoil. So let's do it one more time. Let's correct that mistake and become more accurate shooters. We fixed the mistake. Those 5 shots were all in the same group. Now the next drill we're gonna do, we've seen this before, I've done it in another video, but it is another example of how We address accuracy, and it's excellent drill on helping us become more accurate shooters. It's a 20 alpha drill. We've talked about it. I love it. Everyone knows I love it. So we're gonna start here at the 5-yard line. We're gonna draw and shoot 5 shots almost as fast as we can, within reason, keeping everything inside of the A zone. I'm not changing my grip. I'm not changing my trigger pull. I'm allowing the sight to do the same thing. I'm just now doing it at speed and not changing any of the fundamentals. Next yard line, 5 more shots. Next yard line. And last yard line. This is where it starts to get a little more difficult. We're adding some distance, but the fundamentals still don't change. We talked about discipline and accuracy. We apply both, we get all of our A's. All right, let's check out the target. Everything is within the A zone. This small group right here was the first controlled pair, or the control 5-shot control group that I was doing. I wanted to keep everything kind of inside of this group, very controlled shots, focusing on the fundamentals, but I'm not just doing a slow fire, like grouping exercise. I'm still trying to have some speed to the drill where it's applicable to the practical shooting, but I also want to make sure that I'm applying that level of control to make sure that my accuracy is up to par. Now the rest of the group, this is all the 20 alpha drill. This kind of walked up on the 10-yard line, but was still able to maintain that A zone. Everything else here was very center. These are drills that have worked for me for years. I've used them for 15 years now. So the 5-shot controlled group or the 20 alpha drill, I've talked about it a bunch. Try these drills out. I know it'll help you guys out. It'll help us all become more accurate shooters. I appreciate you guys watching this episode. Make sure and go to GIQ because we have a special month for you guys with it being Glocktober. We have a campaign going on where you can build your own Glock on GIQ and be entered for a chance to win it. So make sure and go to GIQ, sign up for the community. It's not just about the build your own Glock, it's about the community as a whole. GIQ is the place to be. So make sure you guys sign up and build your own Glock. Like, subscribe, comment on this channel. And again, thank you all for watching Team Glock University, and we'll see you next time on the range.